a while ago, I had some problems with my tenant's air conditioner, and the heat part wasn't working. It was a ductless AC system. I don't know if you're familiar with those, but they have a lot of modes, including like a self-help mode for troubleshooting. And the lights blink a certain way, and it tells you basically when you look up the code in the manual, it will show you where the problem is and what to do about it. And some are more in-depth than others. This Fujitsu model that I had is pretty good. It shows you quite a bit as far as troubleshooting goes. And long story short, I was able to troubleshoot it down to this thermistor, which belongs to this cable. And the AC guy quoted me $10,000 for a new AC system. I got a second opinion. And the first guy who quoted me $10,000 told me to take my business elsewhere when I told him I went and got a second opinion. Well, the second opinion was $7,500. Well, not too many of us have $10,000 to just throw away. So I decided to look into it and found out that there is a lot available for troubleshooting on these things, on these mini split systems. Now, as far as recharging it goes, I called a guy to recharge it. I actually work on automotive AC systems. I have the tools to do so, but the tools to work on these mini splits is completely different. It runs on R410, and I decided to have somebody recharge it for me. He only charged me $120 to do that. It did need a recharge, and it had a slight leak right at the air conditioner. He just tightened that up, recharged it, and from there I still had a problem, and I'm going to go ahead and edit this video in such a way where you'll be able to see the fact that the AC unit is generating a certain trouble code with the blinking lights, and you can go through the manual and see basically what the problem is and what it's able to signify as to where the problem is. It was in the outdoor unit, and it belongs on this harness, actually, as far as the thermistor in question is. I was able to troubleshoot it down to this harness by using the trouble codes in the manual. And it was a total of $13. Okay. Now, I would have probably paid them $500 or whatever, some sort of price that is doable, rather than $10,000 for a new system. This is why I try to do everything myself on cars and things like that. I don't see how the average Joe six-pack gets by. $10,000 is ridiculous, especially for these mini split systems. The second guy who came along even told me that he considers them throwaway items. A lot of people just buy these things and install them themselves, and then when they call an AC man to come and fix it, they end up quoting them more than they paid for the air conditioner. So, the guy's got to make a living, but that's ridiculous. I mean, I would have paid him $500 to replace this for me, but he didn't do that. The guy told me to take my business elsewhere, so what I did, I took it to myself. I figured it out myself. But I'll go ahead and put the trouble code lights, the way they blink and so forth, up on this. I'll edit this video to show, and you'll get an idea of what's going on with these things. They actually do have a lot of different trouble codes. Just like a car, you know, when you use an OBD2 sensor, a reading device, you know, to hook up in your car, you know, these AC systems generate trouble codes too, and you can use them to troubleshoot. And that's what I did. And I saved myself about $10,000 in the process. You know, okay. So let me go ahead and do this. I'll edit this video, and at some point in this video you'll see the unit generating the trouble code. And I went back in the manual and found out what that trouble code was and where it was, and it even shows you where to find the particular item that it's alluding to. So, you know, I was able to troubleshoot this thing with no trouble at all. And I don't consider myself to be an air conditioning person, you know, for this kind of AC. So it's doable. You can troubleshoot these things yourself, and it was on a Fujitsu unit. Now, I don't know how good some of these other units are as far as generating the trouble codes go, but on the Fujitsu it was pretty good. So, and I imagine like maybe an LG might have it, and a Mitsubishi would probably have a pretty good system for troubleshooting as well. You know, and you know, to give you an idea of what you can do on these things. You can save yourself a lot of money. So I'll go ahead and bring this up and edit this to where you'll see the trouble codes generating on this unit that I was working on, and that'll give you an idea of what's doable on these mini split systems.